right, so I'm making this video because uh, rather than just sharing half of the things that go on, trying to do my best to share the entire regimen. If you noticed my videos yesterday, I ate a bunch of processed food, right? And I chose to do those things, and I'm not saying there's anything necessarily wrong with that in particular, but I know how I felt about it today. I could tell regardless of anything, if things are moving around inside of you, whether it's an emotion, whether it's a fart, whether it's a noise, whether it's whatever, it's information. And if you ignore it, you know, I did that for quite a better part of my life. So now I understand. But when I finished eating that food this morning, right, I knew that I didn't want to have the same type of responses last night because last night, oh, my neck, like right here. You can't probably see it because it's in the mirror, but right here, all right. Even still, it's a little bit sore. But what's happening is, um, this is where my higher heart chakra and my throat chakra, um, they meet, right? And I had surgery right here. I had my um saliva gland taken out. I had two surgeries, but the last surgery was pretty major, and I didn't wake up from that surgery right away. And so there were some complications and whatnot, but ultimately there was a calcified stone that got into my saliva gland. And so when you think about food, um, it automatically produces saliva. And so um, even though I don't have the gland, and even though it's still trying to work, it impacts me. Like, so depending on what I eat, if I'm thinking about it, what I anything that goes on, um, it still tries to do its thing, even though it's not actually a body part in there anymore. So, although, it's growing back, but it's, was very, I didn't get very good sleep, and it hurts. It hurts because it's like things are moving in there and making space. And so, um, that's something that made me feel like, like at first fearful because the pain, that was the thing that I noticed at first. And so um that's why today, when I woke up and I did my daily routine, I did it a little bit different. Even though I ate the same food this morning as I ate last night, um I made sure that I incorporated um more liquid so that it can move things through. But also, like, I always charge my water. I always have some on reserve. But utilizing um a counterbalance of fruit and vegetables, walking, um, stretching my vocal cords, um, things like that. It really helps to, you know, um, it's more of a holistic thing than anything, as far as incorporating like nourishing foods and beverages. But the educational portion is that, your body knows how to heal itself. It needs to have a safe place to do that. And so, even though I usually play sound therapy, I do different things when I'm sleeping. You know, it was like last night I watched a movie and I ate that food, and it's cold. It's cold where I am. And so then I think that, all these things triggered like the worry of I can't do this another winter, blah blah blah, everything, my living situation. And so therefore, um whereas in the past where pain would like I would only go I would I would only deal with trauma in the way where I'd go to the hospital unless it was like an extreme circumstance, which I would work until it was extreme. And then when the pain I couldn't handle it anymore, I would just go to the hospital. And they were removing these body parts on purpose because they were just, they had become energetic blockages, and so they're just completely toxic. And so if they weren't taken out, then they were going to impair my entire body. And that's why I had 8 surgeries from head to toe, different body parts removed in like a 2-year period of time, when I never had any surgery, or any issues with that type of thing. And so it started with 2020, when 3 important people in my life died. Boom, boom, boom. And I was finally, in a predicament where I had to deal with a lot of the things that I had repressed. And so this is how come I'm an expertise at this now. This is now why it just seems like, oh, just a tonic and you can drink it and it's whatever. But I'm telling you, all these things in corporation, they work and they're real. And that's how I know everything I infuse with unconditional love is for the best for everybody in each moment. I'm not saying don't eat processed food completely, because I tried to, vegan for a week. I made it a day because my farts were so bad. It was crazy. But I incorporated every single day fruit and vegetables that I wasn't since then. So it's like, like every day, not just for a week, every day of my life since then, which has been a month about or whatever, but it's that's big, especially for somebody who's homeless, who is on a fixed income or whatever, who doesn't have their own, place to cook all the time or whatever. Even just incorporating that in that mental shift is like, it doesn't matter if I, didn't do the vegan thing, because those meatballs, like, ain't no telling what's in them, or whatever, that have my stomach all jacked up. But what I do know is that I feel so much better, incorporating all these things into my diet on a regular basis, that, I don't see that as a failure. Like, I see that as a W. And so, like, when you have all these, like, in your whole days incorporated, like with the bath, with the drinking these things, with noticing these things, with being mindful, with all these things, and giving me the energy to even record these videos, because you have no idea, like. So I like to make sure I have the greatest amount of impact with the least amount of energetic strain on me, because I know most of my creation comes from my mental energy. So like, I know that if I have no mental energy left, then I'm not going to feed myself. I'm not going to make sure that I'm warm enough. I'm not going to be able to have enough energy to do anything as a human. Like, and but I know that the power of this mental energy and emotional force is so great that it's like acts of mother nature, just boom, like, when it happens. And so I've dealt with the opposite, and had the wind knocked out of my sails so many different times, that's why I'm just breathing on everybody this little piece of information. It's an energetic light code, and it will subtly impress on you whatever you need. Everybody who watches this or doesn't watch it, but it will reach you. And vitality, will be in your reach. It's different for everybody, but I know why I do them when I do them. It's not just randomly, just random drinking these things, making these things, because creating these things is, it's intuition. It's, tapping into channeled information, like herbology, different things like that, that I don't see everything in my human body. But when I ask and when I put that out there and I hear the universe, it's like, it doesn't take any mental energy because my mind is clear. So that's how I know that these things really work in these moments. But I also understand that when you try to do it on a when it's not the right time, or not the right ingredients, or not the same person or energy signature, that's why the results vary. But either way it goes, you'll know what to do. Thank you. I appreciate you.